Hello, everyone. This is JD Calderon, and this is Marvin. What's the name of the show?
This is our brand spanking new, like it's taking off the plastic, our retailer chat. So, usually it's a bunch of creators in a room together. This time we've got a single retailer, and we're gonna hit them with all the hard hitting questions that all you guys want to know about retail out there.
Exactly. And it's mostly pertaining towards independent comic books, independent creators, how we can get this stuff in the shops, and how what do retailers need from us, right? Because we always talk to independent creators, but we never talk to the guys who are selling the books. Right. They need voice, those guys. All right. But before we start that, I want to do a few shout outs. We'll start with one of my books. This is the Oswald Chronicles, When Tender Souls Mourn. 4 more days left on Kickstarter. 76 backers, 4 days. Go check it out. Link in the show notes. All right. We'll just. Oh, you know what? It would have helped out if I would have done this. It would have helped out if I'd have done this. There you go. So there you go. 4 days left, and this is this one will be done, and that's that. So go check it out. Like I said, links in the show note. And we will pop up this. And then this is Dreamweavers. This will be launching right after Oswald is finished. This is a 48-page book, completely different story, completely different thing going on. 48-page story. 4 kids bringing their role-playing game characters into reality, fighting demons, and traveling the world. All right, so that's that one. And Marvin.
Yes, sir.
Oh, there we go.
Yay!
Did it. Did it.
Yeah, you go. The Edge Trades paperback, both volumes 1 and 2, and a bunch of other stuff going to be coming to you on August the 24th. There will be a live YouTube stream at 1 p.m. So just tune in.
All right, cool.
Guess I should put the link in the in that here also.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I put that in the show notes. So.
Well, no, I mean in the Kickstarter little bio thing. You can put links and stuff in there now.
Oh, gotcha. And one more real quick. We got our boy JD Rosario, got another 13 days on the Storm Chasers. You have awesome alternative superhero comic book. Go check it out. This is a great book. This is This is number 2, volume 2, but 1 and 2 are both available. So this is 2 trade paperbacks. Go check them out. Go buy some books. These are some awesome books. Jay's our boy. He's not feeling too well tonight, so feel better, Jay.
Hook him up. No, we're like halfway there, so I mean we got time. We can do it.
Yep, we're gonna definitely do it. All right, and then let's get this done. And without further ado, let's bring in our guest. Right, that would help. How you doing, Ben?
Hey, good evening, you two. How you doing tonight?
Oh, doing well.
We're well. Please, Ben, please introduce yourself.
My name is Ben C. Schwartz, and I use the C because there's other Ben Schwartzes even right here in Sacramento. The guy goes to my vet, he goes to my dentist. So Ben C. Schwartz, I'm owner of Empire's Comics Vault here in Sacramento, and also a writer and publisher for Continuum Press.
All right, cool. And I'm gonna pull up a couple of your sites so you can shout them out real quick. What are we looking at here, Ben?
So this is the Empire's comic site, and that image right there was when we work a lot with Good Day Sacramento, and that's Cody Stark, and he was down here with Oscar and David and Kyron, and we did a special morning in the shop where he spent all morning just talking to these creators and going over their small press books.
All right, cool.
Yeah, and as you can see, the shop is filled with, it's got lounges, it's got pugs, it's a real open environment. It's not packed with stuff. We've got a lot of stuff, as you can see there, but I can't stand like clutter or stuff all around me. So I try to keep it as open and as friendly as possible.
All right, very nice. Yeah, it's a really nice looking store.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm used to walking into places and everything's like claustrophobic, and
I'm here. I'm almost 7 days a week, and I would go absolutely crazy if that was what was here.
Gotcha. All right, cool. And then this is your Substack. So
yes. So yeah, this is my Substack, and I think if you click no on there right below it, it'll show the actual images. So what my Substack has is I've been creating comics for almost 20 years now. And when we first started, I brought a bunch of Sacramento people together, and we started an anthology with 4 creative teams. And it just kind of spiraled out from there. We started creating an entire universe, and it ran the gauntlet from everything from horror to science fiction, superhero, fantasy. And as time went by, things kind of slowed down. Life took over. The store got busy, and we just stopped. And recently, I've come back, and what I did is I took all of these ideas that are under the Continuum Press banner that were all part of the same world but never interacted, shot them 3 years in the future, combined them all, and now I get to do the continued stories. I get to do flashbacks. I get to do the in between. It's just a lot of fun, and all of the Continuum stuff is up here for free. There's Trixie Dynamite stuff, which is an all ages Looney Tunes style heroine set in Sacramentropolis 100 years in the future, and I got kids books about my pugs.
Oh, very nice, very nice.
We'll keep everything up there, yes.
Looks awesome. All right, cool. So go on Ben's Substack, and don't forget Ben C. Schwartz.
Yes, please. And you'll see it has a picture of me holding 2 pugs, so it's pretty easy.
Right, because there's some other guy out with a Substack named Ben Schwartz.
There is. There's got to be.
Gotcha. All right, cool. Marvin, you want to start this, or do you want me to start?
So I mean, before you can start with the comic stuff, but I want to jump on the other thing. So I mean, your store is not just comics; you also carry hot sauce.
We do, yes.
So explain that. So comics and hot sauce.
So hot sauce has always been an obsession of mine. I love it hot. I like different varieties, and I like having stuff that's hot, but we don't carry anything with extract. So I like having things that are hot with the natural flavor of the pepper. And I used to go out to Lodi where my grandparents were. And there was a place there called Habanero Hots that had a wall of hot sauces. And I would just load up, come home. Well, when they passed away, I didn't get out to Lodi very often. And I thought, well, nobody in town, not even the grocery stores, carry anything other than Marie Sharps and, Tapatio and Tabasco. So I contacted all of my favorite hot sauces and said, hey, we're trying something new. And every single one of them were like, a comic shop? This is absolutely fantastic. Yeah, what do you need? And so we tried it, and I thought, hey, if this works, great. If not, I've got a lot of hot sauce to go through. And it turned out it worked wonders. So not only did we have a bunch of existing customers that are into hot sauce, but I was able to turn on a bunch of people who had only really had that joke stuff that their friends give them to scare away from hot sauce. And I was able to show them that there's stuff that's super mild and super flavorful. And then, there's the in-between, and then there is the hot stuff. So we got them on board. And then word started spreading. And there's some Reddit page out there, evidently, that people keep telling me about, where they ask where you should go in hot sauce. And all of it just links to Empire's Comics. So we have a huge community of people that only come in for the hot sauce. So yeah, it's worked absolutely great, and I get hot sauce companies now contacting me.
Oh, that's awesome.
Asking me if I can carry their sauce. So yeah, it's worked out really well, and it's been a lot of fun.
Cool. That's awesome.
Yeah. Oh, and a great addition. I mean, I literally my 3 favorite things are hot sauce, pugs, and comics, and I have all of them here. Oh, and my wife too.
You have to throw that in, yes.
My 4 favorite things.
Awesome.
You have a couch. I don't know how comfortable it is to sleep on.
Thank you very much. Yeah, not as comfortable to stay here for a couple hours, but that's about it.
Right. Gotcha. All right. Cool. So Ben, like I was saying at the beginning of the show, one of the reasons I wanted to start this, and I invited Marvin, and I asked him to seek out some retailers, is every week I talk to independent comic book creators. I mean, every week. I talk to 5 or 6 of them. and I try to switch it up. So I'm having different people on all the time. And, we talk about various things within the industry, Kickstarters, going through the direct market and all this other stuff. But rarely do we ever get a chance to talk to an actual retailer, right?
Yeah.
And ask them, what are you looking for in an independent comic book? What are you looking for, when you're looking through the previews guide, right? Like what type of outreach can we do for you to help bring our books into your shop? Or how can we help you help us, right?
Yes,
Basically.
yeah. And
So,
that is a large question.
Yeah, no. That's not really a question. That's just the overall.
That's the kickoff. All right, here we go.
So no, that would be like, but here I have one straight question for you. It's like, what percentage of your customers would you say buy independent comic books regularly?
So you're talking to my customers. I'm going to have a much higher number, I think, than a lot of other stores, because when you come in here, my wall is huge, and I order almost everything independent, even the small copies. I'll get a couple copies just for the wall. I've always done that because I was trying to do it myself, and I always wanted to support. B, I often find a lot of things in those independents that other stores aren't ordering that I like, and I find a new artist, new writer that I like, and I've even seen some of them go on to some of the bigger companies. So I am very indie centric because of the freedom as well. There's so much freedom. There's no constraints. You're not going to be reading one of those independent stories and then have editors tell the writer, I need you for 3 issues to link into this other event that we have going on. So, and I also appreciate an end. When the comic comes to an end, the creators go on to something else. So I have been very heavy into it. Now, as far as single comics go, the big 2 dominate over the years. I'd say they take about 50% of my sales. But when it comes to trades, my percentage is probably more along the lines of 70 to 75% for independents, which is huge. It's unbelievable. I've got you see these trade shows behind me? Over half of them are dedicated to just the indies, and Marvel and DC's got, they got their section, but we go heavy, and you can really, a lot of that goes to, you have to give credit to Image, because not necessarily the 90s Image. I mean, I understood that kicked off the thing, but when they started doing things like Walking Dead, East of West, Black Science, it brought in so many new readers that weren't interested in superheroes. And I was able to then put, some of the even smaller press stuff in there. So yeah, it's I think the indie stuff, at least for me, is really booming.
Cool. Marvin, you got something?
Oh yeah. So and I like you said about handing something new over to somebody. So in the instances of people who are moving away from, say, big 2 books, so Justice League, X-Men, are you more willing to offer them other indie books in that same vein that are not in that same stratosphere, but as an alternative to say something in that stead?
Oh yeah, definitely. I'll even do it before they turn away. We lay out our comics like a buffet on Wednesday, so people can go down the line. Some of my customers I've been with for years, so I know exactly what they like. If they're picking up that JLA and there's a new #1 from an independent that I think would be up their alley, I'll often just pop it in their box.
Okay.
And just tell them when they get the box, I'll have it on the top, and I'll be like, hey, at least take a peek at this. I think this would be right up your alley. And the good percentage of the time they'll actually give them a shot.
Awesome. Right. And then I think that's where a lot of the things should lie in, is that instead of losing a customer, to try to turn them on to something else. And I see in a lot of stores, people are walking away from those books. Those are the books you mentioned from the big 2, and they don't have an outlet to anything else. So it's like, okay, I don't go to the comic shop anymore because I was buying this book. I don't like it anymore, but no one gave me an offer of something else that could be similar or very close to what I was reading.
Yeah, and I think it also really comes down to who's behind the counter, how well you know your customers, how well you pay attention. I mean, like I said, I've been with these people for years. I talk to them every week. I know what they like. I know what I like. And we've had conversations about it. So I'm able to do that. And yeah, if somebody's getting tired of it, I will go over to the image shelf and say, hey, here's East of West, my favorite independent book of all time. Try it. It's only $10. So no, you have to engage them. You really do. And because those people you're talking about, a lot of them have not necessarily tried indie. Right. You sometimes just have to put one in their hand, and then they're going to be like, okay, let's give it a shot. What do I got to lose? If I don't like it, I don't come back to the second.
Cool. I wrote out a huge list of questions, and now I'm like, which one do I ask?
You just got to throw one out
there. Right. So, all right, here's one. What general advice would you have for an indie creator when it comes to dealing with retailers? Like, how is it best for maybe like an indie creator to approach you to maybe introduce their book to you?
So I'm open to the many different ways that they do it. But I will, since we're having an interview to help creators, I'll be as honest as possible. The main ways that people get a hold of me are they'll email me, they will call me, or they will stop by the shop. I have some people who just make the rounds. They'll come from the Bay and hit all the Sacramento comic shops. Email is great, but it's ultimately going to be the best form. But the problem with just emailing me first is there's a ton of email in my box, and so I don't have an attachment to you. So what I highly recommend is call, or if you're coming in, ask for the manager. Talk to him briefly. Here's the thing I need to tell you. If you're going to call me, you need to give me the quick who you are. You need to give me a quick pitch, and then you need to ask me if you can email me links or a PDF, because I'm on the phone with you, but I also have a room full of people and a ton of stuff to do. So I mean, I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just being honest. Introduce yourself, give me a quick pitch, and then ask if you can email me stuff. Because once I have the connection with you and I know this person, at least through a couple minutes of talking, when I get that email, it's not going to go to the bottom of my pile. I'm actually going to take a peek at it.
Right.
So that is my advice for contacting us, because a lot of us are like me. Like, I'm pretty much the only person running the shop, and time is just a premium.
Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm. Gotcha. All right, cool. Marvin, the ball's back in your court.
Oh, okay. So as far as like communication, after the communication, what kind of marketing material would you say would be best for someone to send you to either display in the store, on a shelf, on the wall, in the window, posters, postcards? What kind of things do you think would attract customers to those titles? So
every store is going to be different. Mine, the only thing I will take as far as physical marketing goes are postcards, because my windows are almost exclusively nothing is on them. I love light. So I don't put up posters. Right. But I have, and there's not any room on the wall in this shop because everything is covered in comics. So, but I do have a section right at the counter where people can pick stuff up, or in instances where it is something that's small press, I can pop in bags when I think somebody might like, or even point out to someone. But there are stores that will put up your poster in the window. So what I would do is I would just ask what they would prefer, and then they will tell you, postcards and posters, or don't send me anything I won't use. And then you don't waste your money as well. Right. Just send me posters and stuff that I won't use. And that's that's postage and printing material that they're now wasting. And when, the profit margin is small enough on it. Right.
Gotcha. Are you, I know you said postcards, but trading cards, are those good as well?
Yeah, anything that can fit on the counter. Most definitely. And we talked about the email. When you send the email, the thing that I would prefer is a link, any links directly to what you want me to see. And, and then if you're going to send me something, I would prefer a PDF of the whole thing. If I get 20 images uploaded separately, the chances of me looking at those are like zero. So I might take a peek at a couple. So one PDF anyways.
Right. Be concise. Or like, I mean,
yeah, exactly. Right.
Yeah. So, I mean, I would say, because I've done this already, is like a pitch PDF that has pages, covers, some information, ordering stuff, and stuff like that. Is what you're talking about?
Yes. And there's the thing: don't just do it and click send, and then realize you missed something and send me 3 emails. Because then we go back to the wasting of time. Yeah. So make sure everything's in there, and I like that too. Yeah. If you're going to do it, give me a breakdown. Tell me what it retails for. Tell me how much my cost is, what I'm going to pay for shipping, and what you have available. So yeah, you're right. Just as much info in that before you click send.
Right. I mean, it's that you get one chance kind of thing to impress somebody, and if you can't do it on the first chance, then you're probably lost it.
Yeah, it's like the elevator pitch, right? Right. You got to get in there. You got to get them going.
Right.
So no, and it sounds like you know what you're doing.
A little bit.
All right, good.
All right, cool. Now, Ben, do you prefer buying your books, let's say, either from a wholesaler like Diamond or Lunar, or from a creator?
So if they're not, I mean, obviously, if they're not going through Diamond, then yeah, I'll go directly through them. But what I prefer, and you guys can tell me if I'm right on this, what I prefer is if a person's going to contact me directly, or even if they're doing a Kickstarter, and that book is going to come through Diamond later, I prefer to buy it through Diamond, because then, especially if they're with another company, because then their numbers are up. So I don't know. I'm asking you guys. Do you think that's the appropriate thing to do, or do you think the Kickstarter would be the way to
go? That's a good question, because and that's why. So, and I'll just preface it. That's why when I do a Kickstarter, the books are different. So when I do Kickstarter, as you know, that I'm going to give extra pages in the Kickstarter. The book that's going to come through Diamond is not going to have those extra pages, but it'll have other extra stuff in it. So it's kind of like 2 different volumes for me, going through Diamond and then through Kickstarter. There's going to be something different. There's going to be different covers that won't be available through Diamond. There's going to be something different that I'm going to offer to make sure that you're getting what you need out of it. And then later on, if you want to still order from Diamond, that's a possibility, because it's going to be something different.
Okay. Now, let's just say if you weren't doing that, where would you prefer me to order?
That's a good question. I mean, I would probably say a creator who is going direct first will probably want you to hit that Kickstarter, because they're going to make more on that Kickstarter than they will through Diamond.
Okay, that is good to know. Then that being the other thing, since they're talking about connecting with retailers, so Kickstarter is immense. I don't even know where to start when you look at stuff like that. So again, with Kickstarter people, they should follow the same routine. Give me a call, shoot me an email. Even if there's another one and they think I'll probably see it, probably won't. So I just need a little heads up. Now, if it's the second time around, you don't need to necessarily call me. You can just shoot me an email and say, hey. But now I will keep that in mind with people that I have kickstarted from the start and then moved to Diamond, that possibly Kickstarter is the way to go instead. So thank you very much for the info.
No problem. And you do a show also, an interview show also on Saturdays sometimes too?
So yes, we haven't done one in a while because the gentleman who runs all my stuff behind the scenes had got a job that conflicted with that. So it looks like things might be changing, but we have done it. We've done it from everything from talking to people with Kickstarters, talking to just small press people. We've done big names like Kelly Sue DeConnick and Brian Michael Bendis and Jason Aaron. So we've run the gamut on that, and it's a lot of fun. I enjoy doing it, and I enjoy promoting it. I think I enjoy. I mean, obviously, it's fun to talk to people like Kelly Sue DeConnick because you get an industry perspective. But I think I like promoting some of the smaller ones more because I've actually talked to customers in the shop who have come back and said, "Hey, thanks for the interview, Ben. I went on and bought the Kickstarter."
Right.
So
yeah, and that stuff is important because marketing for small press and indie books is very difficult.
Yeah,
and any chance you can get to get in front of someone who is unaware that you exist is always going to be great. and I'm really glad that you did that, because you've had me on your show a few times. But you also do like a new comic book day show, also, like you go through all the new books that are out that week also too.
Yeah, we hit up the books that are coming out. It goes to our YouTube channel, it goes to Facebook, and of course we have it in our email. You can go to the website and sign up for the email. And yeah, I just run down some of the top books, pick my top 3, pick my favorite hot sauce, and just kind of give people the lowdown on what's going on for the week. Yes.
Awesome.
Oh, and another thing, we were talking about doing the interviews to help promote. Another thing that people can do after we've got kind of a connection, after you've talked on the phone and then emailed me and talked, if you've got links to send me, I love to support that kind of stuff. So if you're doing something, let's just say we've got your books in there and you're preparing number 2 and you've done a post on Instagram, yeah, feel free to email me and say, hey Ben, here's a post. If you have the time, please put it up, and I'm more than happy to do that kind of stuff. And I think the other retailers will as well, to help support.
All right, cool. This one kind of attaches to the question I just asked, and I was curious, if you're buying directly from a creator, is it better for them to sign the books? Does that add any value, you think, to your customers?
So for the most part, yes. I would ask your retailer what they want or how many they want, because if I got something on Kickstarter and there were 5, let's say there could be 5 copies, I would say sign 3, because I do have some customers who prefer a raw book as opposed to something with a signature. But I think to most people, the signature adds a little more value. It's a little more personal. So yeah, I would ask the retailer what they would prefer rather than assume.
Right. All right. Cool.
Right. Sometimes I've been told don't sign that book.
Okay, so yeah, you've experienced that.
Yeah. I was like, do you want me to sign these? They were like, no. I'm like, okay.
Okay, no, I'm not going to take offense.
But then, like at shows, and sometimes when we do store stuff, and someone comes up and buys a book, and they're surprised when I ask them if they want to sign it. They're like, how much? I'm like, I don't charge for signatures. They're like, oh.
You're picking up my book? Yeah, but please let me sign it. Thank
you already paid for it, man. The signature is free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True. All right. Marvin, another one, or you want me to go?
Go ahead. I'm thinking of another one.
One of the big things on Kickstarter is alternative covers, right? Obviously, some people say it's a boom. Some people say it's a problem, right? I mean, what is your stance on that? Do you feel it's a good thing, right? Should, like I do a book, the Oswald Chronicles, I tend to offer 2 covers per issue that I put out.
So I think 2 covers is great.
Mm-hmm.
I think when you get into the Marvel side of things, and there's it's a completely different story. We're going to avoid the Marvel and DC stuff. But when you're in small independent publisher, I don't think it matters to my customers if you do more. I think 2 is perfect. But you can do 3 or 4, because they're not going to get confused. They're not going to. That's the thing with the Marvel. They, the people who buy like Marvel, they buy so many titles, and Hulk has 5 covers, and they forget what they bought. But the indie stuff, I don't think it's nearly as big of a problem, because they're going to know, hey, I've got all 4 issues. I have them. Mm-hmm. And I think for some people it's nice because they just like the alternative cover. For me, I always choose for my own collection. I always choose the cover I like. It doesn't matter if it's a variant or if it's an A. But there are a lot of people who are strictly A people, and that's it. I mean, that's completely it. So I don't know that it's necessarily a boon, but I think it's nice to have the variety and have the opportunity. Now, do you on your side see results? Is it worth it to have to pay another artist or have somebody else do it for you? Do you see the result in like Kickstarters?
I have. I don't know about more.
Yeah. I would think that that's a thing now, because I think when I did mine, I did offer, like, not on the trade, but like the single issues I did cover specifically for Kickstarter for those ones. And I'm going to do it again. I'm going to offer exclusive covers that are only in the Kickstarter for the single, if somebody wants the single books. But I think if we double up on that, what's the thought process on those ratio variants then? So I mean, I've tried it with Diamond, and I only did it once, but I might do it again. So you buy 5 books, you get 1 variant cover as part of the deal.
So personally, I'm not, and let me just start with the fact that I am a very abnormal store in the fact that I am exclusively reading. I don't deal in vintage comics. I don't deal in expensive comics. I don't deal in I don't hike my price up on ratios. I mean, if I do happen to meet a ratio, I give one of my customers who I know will like it. Okay. So I will personally never up my order to meet a ratio if I'm not going to, if I don't have it, because I just don't have the base. Like I don't have the people who are coming for it. Now that being said, if I was going to order 4 copies anyways, and you have a 1 to 5, I'll probably get it. Okay. Now, I don't know what your thoughts on this are, but some of the companies like Ahoy even has been lowering their ratio to 1 to 4. So I've seen a couple companies doing that. So just for your own knowledge, in case you want to look into it.
Yeah, well, I was thinking of that because I've seen those 25 and 1s, 50s and 1s, 100s and 1s. I mean, I think didn't someone do like you had to order 1,000 books to get some special cover or something?
Yeah, it's stupid. Like who orders 500 copies of Red Sonja?
Right.
Like, nobody. So I don't understand what the deal is on this. Do they just produce one and then sell it on eBay and stupid number themselves? I mean, that kind of stuff just seems. I don't know if it's their marketing. They're just trying to help. If they're not even going to print. So I mean, it could be because if you do it 1 to 500 and nobody orders 500, you don't have to print the book anyways. But people think it's out there.
Right. But I seen, and they had posted before. It was a store that was doing that. They were ordering 400, 500 books. The store's no longer open, and I were that's why. And they were like, "Oh, let's just triple up on the order of this one book." Yeah, it's just sitting there. We can't sell it. Now we're screwed.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't look into that stuff, and I unfortunately can't give you much info. I think that for small press, anything above a 25 is. I mean, unless you're doing something like Kickstarter where you can make more. Anything going through Diamond, I would say anything above a 25 for an independent is probably unlikely. Like even 25 is going to be hard for a small press publisher. But a 1 to 10, 1 to 5, even unlockables, those are a big thing now. Where if I even order 1 book, I can order a copy of this unlockable, but it's only 1 per store. So those are a big thing. And if there's an unlockable, I almost always do. Okay. Because why not? You get one of those, and then I don't often raise them. Even I'll just throw it out with the other one and sell it for a couple times. So yeah, I think the lower ratios obviously are more achievable at that point. But again, if nobody orders 100 copies, then you don't have to print it.
So I've never heard the unlockable. So the unlockable is like even if you just order 1, you can order the second one.
Yeah,
is that the way that works?
Yeah, just 1 copy per store. So that one, so those actually have been really cool because they, you'll offer a 1 to 10. And people will see 1 to 10 and think, oh, it's a low ratio. But some stores aren't even going to get that 1 to 10. You know what I mean? But if every single store orders an unlockable, they're actually more sought after, but then than the other ones because it says unlockable. They know it's one. Right. So those are good. The other thing that some small press have been doing is they throw in a thank you variant. And what those are is they're just a exclusive cover to anyone who ordered the book. And, sometimes they show up without you even knowing it. Now, that's obviously hard for small press, but it's just another thing that once some of those thank you variants I've seen hit eBay, and it's actually drawn attention to that book more than any of the marketing they've done before.
Yeah.
So,
cool. Nice. Now, how does the thank you go? Do they put the name of the store on the cover, or they make a new cover?
No, it's the same cover for every store.
Right.
but it's a surprise, and it's again one per store.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. That's interesting. I look. It's nice. I like that.
Yeah, no, it's a fun little thing. You know, when you get it, it's not, and then you look on your invoice and you say thank you very much. Oh, okay.
Right. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. All right, Marvin, you got another one?
So I was man, I guess I was kind of wondering. You don't do like the Comics Pro retailer summits at all, do you?
I don't.
No. Is there a reason why?
Just time. You know, they always for the first time. You know, they always wanted you to go down there, and it just didn't have the ability when it was happening. So no, I can't give a definitive answer in that. It's just I don't know. I don't even do cons. I just like my shop. I know my customers. I know what works. So no, I can't give you a definitive answer on that.
Right. So you are more interested in what's going on in your orbit.
I stick to the community here. I'm very up on that and what people are looking for on the events that we have going here. You know, we heavily promote events and communities. We got Road Icon. We just had Impound this weekend. There's a Sunrise Mall, Sac Anime. So yeah, I stay connected to my town. I love Sacramento. It's just a wonderful community. The community of readers is absolutely fantastic. We are very lucky here. We just get a lot of good people every week, you know, and they're always talking to each other and just going over books, even if they don't even know each other. So I guess you know, you're helping me here because I'm exploring myself. You know, I guess I'm just happy in my own little room. The people that I like and the people I love and the books that I love.
Right. I mean, but that's the good thing about it is that you've been able to help create a community around not only comic books but hot sauce. So I mean, you've got the whole entire gamut of everything going on there. And you did a couple of years ago. You did free comic book day, and you did something in store. You had like wrestling event, right?
Yeah, just like we can blame a lot of stuff. COVID really blew this out of the water.
Yeah.
Every year before COVID happened, we took over the entire parking lot. We had wrestling rings, full on wrestling. We had multiple food trucks. We had 20 plus small press vendors out there, artists, writers. We had the Sacramento Roller Derby. We had face painters. We had balloon makers. We gave out like 20,000 comic books. It was just an event. And to this day, I still have people asking me when it's coming back. And the unfortunate answer is I just don't have the manpower. You know, COVID happened. We were shut down for 3 months. We did curbside for like another 2. But during that time, everyone who was helping me moved on. I had to find other stuff. Like, you know, got a job, got things going on. So it's just too much for me. And so I'll still have some small stuff. We'll still have signings. You know, if one of our locals comes out with a book, we'll bring them in on a Wednesday. They'll sit right there with people enter the door, talk to them, sell their stuff, and they usually do really, really well. But the giant event, I mean, I missed it. It was crazy. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I remember seeing the pictures. Like, man, I'd love to go out for that, and then COVID, because
exactly.
we were planning to come that year.
Before that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And then we were talking about it.
yeah, we were planning it, and then COVID hit. And you emailed me. You were like, "So this is canceled." I'm like, "Oh."
Yeah, just like everything else.
Right.
So no. So at the moment, it's just small scale. You know, doing things locally.
Cool.
All right, cool. Going back to dealing with independent publishers, what type of discount are you looking to get off of books when dealing with an indie publisher?
So this is rough. I'm willing to deal with people depending on the page count, the quality of the book, make sure it's not it's printed properly, yada yada yada. You know, I mean, I understand that we as small press creators have a completely different situation than everyone else. Not everyone can give me a $5 price tag to compete with the rest of the books coming from Diamond. Not everybody can afford to give me a 50% cut, which is ideal. So I'm open to talking, and we can go from there. There's things that you can do with your, let's just say you say, God, I'm not making much. I did a really small print run. I need to, 25%. You might want to sweeten the deal when you're talking to a retailer and say, hey, but you know what, order 10 copies and I'll ship them for free.
Right.
Stuff like that. So there's little things you can do. But I think what really, is important is, again, engaging them first, getting them to see you as a person and as a creator. Just a mindless email, it's easy to go, oh God, it's a $10 book and I have to pay $7.50 for it. So yeah, it is negotiable, but you really want to try and sweeten the deal for them, because the retailers, and a lot of them don't even carry the really small stuff. The retailers, they have to weigh, do I spend that $7.50 on independent, or do I get 3 books from Boom Studios that I know will sell? So there are those factors, and you may not think it's a lot when it's a store. You're like, come on, it's only $7.50. But you don't know what that store's going to. You don't know what their profit margin is, what their expenditure is. So yeah, just try and give them the best deal as you can, but also make sure that you're getting it, because I don't want to have you get 0 just so you can get it on the shelf. I want to make sure that you get it.
Cool.
Fair. Marvin, what do you got?
You can go again. I'll finish it.
All right.
All right, Marvin.
Yep. So JD is frozen. So
Oh, he's back. All right.
I know my internet is acting up. I don't know why. You guys can hear me though?
yes,
No,
you're good now.
So like I said, everybody's. So what is a turnoff that an indie creator can do that that maybe you see some do that you would advise they not do?
Ooh. I've already gone over the time thing. That's a big thing. Oh, and never, ever call on Wednesday. Wednesday is new comic book day. If you call on a Wednesday, it shows me you don't know anything about comics either. So never call on a Wednesday. It's new comic book day. It's busy all day. So that is a big thing right there. The time thing is, as far as the books go, I'm very open. A big thing, and I guess I gotta say this. Yeah, the big thing is if you send me your PDF and it is just riddled with grammar errors, I'm not gonna buy it. You've got to show some professionalism. You've got to get an editor if you don't know it. At the very least, subscribe to Grammarly, for a month and get it done, because I don't know. It makes the independent market look bad. If somebody picks it up and reads it, because then they'll be like, oh my God, this is what the independents are like. They don't even know how to use a question mark. So that's a big one. I'm open to all kinds of styles of art. It doesn't matter if it's something that I'm not into, or if it's something that somebody I feel could use a little more work, because they did it, and that's the important thing. Getting it out there it means a lot to me, as a writer, because I'm not the best writer in the world, but people still buy it, and I appreciate it. So I'm open to all forms of art style, open to all kinds of stories. The biggest thing is, no, I guess, there is some stuff. I had somebody send me a book that was like 5 pages, and they wanted to charge $5 for it. And I just, there was no way I was ever going to sell that. Like, there's nobody that's going to buy it. Like, you need to have a full book. The thing is, it can't be just printed at home. You've got to go to a printer. It's got to look professional. But other than those things, I can't think of anything, because I really am open. Like, even if I read the synopsis and I'm like, well, that might not appeal to me, I will sit for a moment and think, well, there's this other book that it has, it could be like this. I sell 5 copies of that during the month, and so I'm still open to giving it a chance.
Right. So, you were saying not to call on a Wednesdays. Does that also include Tuesdays until DC has officially moved to Wednesdays?
I would assume for other people, yes, but not for me, because I don't even open on Tuesdays. I haven't opened for a couple of years, and You know what? I was like, my customers aren't going to come in on Tuesday just for DC when they have to come back on Wednesday for Mourn.
Mm-hmm.
So I never even opened for DC. I never even told them on Tuesday. So I would assume for the other people, yes, I wouldn't call on Tuesday because they will not only be processing the Diamond comics, because Diamond comics go up on Tuesday. They'll be pricing variants to get ready. They'll be selling DC. So I would avoid Tuesday as well. That's a good point. Yeah, even after DC moves, just because they're still getting receiving from them.
Right. And then, so I mean, that would also, some stores aren't even open on Mondays anymore. So some stores, like I've seen a list of stores that don't open on Mondays, and they're sometimes closed on Fridays now too. So I mean, generally call on Thursdays because that seems to be the most appropriate day if you're going to contact the store. And I found, I don't want to say how I found it out the hard way because I never called them on a Wednesday. I called on a Tuesday before.
Okay.
And I didn't get bitched out or anything, but they were like, you might not want to call on Tuesdays anymore because we're, like you said, we're doing pricing, we're unpacking books, we're scanning barcodes, and that's another thing to keep in mind when you're printing a book is make sure you have a barcode and a price on your book.
Thank you. That's the okay. Never mind. That's second only to grammar.
Yeah.
The barcode isn't as important to me because I use Square and I don't have a scanner, but a price on your book is essential. Mm-hmm. Absolutely essential.
Right. I've seen it multiple times where it's like someone is showing their book and the guy's like flipping it over continuously. Well, how much is it? Like if I have to guess how much it is, then how do you sell it? Like I don't even know what the charge. If you like not putting a price in the book, not telling me what it costs. Now they have to make up a price.
Yeah. And what I do for that is I tell people, look, if you haven't put a price on it, it's $5. Because myself and the people who work with me, we can't have a spreadsheet just to look up what so,
right.
So you can give it to me for $5, or when you do a new printing and you got a price on it, give me a call.
Right. So remember that.
Now I do want to come back to the calling thing, and you're right, because we've talked this out. I'm closed Monday and Tuesday. Wednesday is New Comic Day. Saturday, the weekends are just busy often. Yes. And Friday, what a lot of people don't know, is Friday is usually when we get Lunar and Penguin, which means we're busy all day. So yes, Thursday. Let's have this whole thing. Only call on Thursday. All right, that's the absolute best day.
Right.
Good call.
And that's going to go for every store. So now you've shrunken your whole entire call sheet down to one day.
Yeah.
Good luck calling 40 stores on one day. Go for it.
You're gonna have to spread out over a couple of weeks, or risk a Friday. Yeah. But
and for those in Diamond, you got 28 days. So
yeah, that's right. You better get to work.
Like I said, that I found this out that yeah. So unless you got like an army of people helping you make phone calls, you're not going to hit your list. So be very spread it out as much as you can. Like do this section of stores for issue 1, this section of store for issues 2, and then hit those emails after the fact, because now that you made a contact, now you can do emails.
Yeah. Cool. Ben, before we go, is there anything you want to ask us, or anything you want to promote, anything you want to like discuss?
I think you guys have answered my questions if we've gone along that have popped up about the small press, the Kickstarter versus the retailer, the things that would help. Let's ask that. Is there anything that I missed that would help you guys on your end once we've been in contact? Is there anything that I, as a retailer, could do aside from sharing any links you send, supporting the Kickstarter? You let me know.
So I think that what we're probably looking for now is that continuous communication sheet of being able to reach back out to ask questions. So and you I've done it with you before. Like if I reach out and say, hey, what do you think of this thing that I'm doing, or what about this new thing that I'm doing? And you've been very, very helpful in that stead. And I that's what I really enjoy, is the back and forth. And I think that that's what a lot of creators need, is that voice in the ether out there that isn't familiar with the whole entire process of how you create a book and that community, and how you're going to be able to get it into your hands to make sure that people who are coming in are going to like it, because you can share that stuff with your people who are coming to your store and say, hey, Marvin sent me this. What do you guys think? And they go, and then I say, okay, I won't do it.
Nice. And no, that's good. And that's once you've made contact, once you've talked, and you go from there. And I wouldn't throw this out in the first email, but
Right,
once
yeah,
you've gotten to know no, I'm sorry, not what you're saying, what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Once you've gotten to, you've had a couple go backs, maybe they bought your book. If you're in constant communication, you can even ask your retailer what their preferred communication is. Do they like Facebook? Do they like Instagram? Do they like email? I mean, I prefer email because email, most of my communication in like Instagram and Facebook is people saying, hey, I want this book. Hey, I want this book. So it's filled up with that. But with stuff like this, I like it because the email is there. I can see it. Okay. I'm like, okay, I have 5 minutes. Let's see what's going on. So yeah, that might be a nice way just to, just to cater to your retailer and I guess stay on the good side.
Right, and each situation is going to be different. So I don't want anybody to take what Ben says and then try to expand that to every retailer. And then you're hitting them up on email continues. You're like, man, just could you stop emailing me?
Yeah, and that's why you might want to ask, because I know some people prefer Facebook, and maybe that's easier for them. So just little options. I guess what I'm saying is try and make your retailer's life as easy as possible. Because that is going to probably push them towards picking your book up, because I think a lot of retailers, if they like someone, then they're going to continue to support them.
Awesome.
Because I mean, this industry is based around that. We love our creators. We love our writers. We love our artists. We love to meet them. We love to talk to them. We love to just talk comics. So yeah, having a personal connection is a huge part in getting.
Right, and I really like I said again, I really appreciate all the help you've given me over the years, and I say that like it's really good to have like people like you out there that are willing to help, because we've hit roadblocks a lot and walls with a lot of people who just don't have the time or just don't care to communicate with us on that level, and I appreciate it.
Well, thank you very much. No, I really enjoyed doing it. And speaking of that, excuse me. Speaking of that, I did talk to one guy who was in here, and he was pitching his small press book, who was complaining to me about another retailer who was not receptive. Mm-hmm. And he even said, somebody who was with him even said something to the effect that he was maybe not the nicest to the retailer when you left.
Yeah.
Never burn your bridges. You don't know what's going to happen in the future. And don't talk to the next retailer, other retailer, because we might be friends. Even if he's in San Francisco, I might know him.
So just to follow up on that, I am aware that there is a secret Facebook group of retailers. So exactly, don't do what Ben is saying to do, because they could be going into that group and saying, "Hey, you guys talk to Marvin? He's an asshole."
Yeah, and it leaves a bad taste in my mouth, because I don't know. I mean, just stay positive. Don't let it get you down, And look, that guy might not buy your book today, but that doesn't mean he won't pick up your book.
Right, exactly. Yeah. And what I'm saying is that it's all about communication, and like you could have just having a bad day. Yeah. And I've had that too, where a guy somebody was very abrasive, and then he communicated me later. He apologized and said, "Hey, send me some stuff."
Yeah. No, I mean, and that's the thing. It could just be that one day.
Mm-hmm. Right. You want to pop up that question real quick from Champion?
Sorry.
So it says, do you have an editorial filter when accepting sales materials?
What does that mean?
Well, Chompy, his first language is Spanish, so this is his second language. So sometimes it gets lost in translation what he's asking. But I believe what he's asking, like,
is he frozen again?
He's frozen. That's all right. He'll come right back. I mean,
well,
go ahead.
More like maybe like language or adult material or something, maybe.
If it's that, okay. So what did you think it would be?
Yeah, I thought I'm thinking like, how critical is your eye, I guess, when reviewing the material? I think that's what he might be asking. But it could also be like, you know, swearing, you know, how do you feel about nudity, that sort of thing.
So let's take care of the explicit content stuff first.
Right.
I mean, I got top shelves. The only thing I don't carry is stuff that's X-rated. That's it. If there's cussing, if there's nudity, if there's violence, there's a place for that everywhere, just like in movies. It will go on the top shelf. That I have no problems with that. Now, as far as my editorial process for reading your book, it's pretty intense. I not only because I think that if the book is badly edited, that it gives the editorial stuff a bad name, but because indie comics a bad name, I also spend a lot of time working on mine. I go over it multiple times. I have my wife read it. I have a friend read it. So there are things you can do to avoid that. So I'm pretty bad. If you miss a comma, I'm not going to kill you. But if you don't know to put a comma before every person's name when they're talking to them, then that's a problem.
Right. Like you said, grammar.
Sorry if I'm too critical. But like I said, I put a lot of work into it. I know what it takes. I know I'm not perfect and I can't catch everything. But there are people who you can talk to in your life who might be able to help you. There's also Grammarly if you have to go that route. There's also what's that Fiverr. You can hire a one-time editor to do your book and find different people. So there are ways around. So yes, I'm pretty critical.
I mean, one of the things that people may look into is colleges. Like there are a lot of English majors who would probably be very interested, or not really interested, or fine-tuning their status by editing books. So like hit up colleges and stuff like that for that too. There now, unlike when I went to school, unfortunately, there are tons of classes about comics. Mm-hmm. You might be able to find somebody who's passionate about it and just wants to help the independent community. Yeah. You know, and they may do it just because they love comics. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's a good call actually.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. All right, cool. All right, we made it to the hour.
We did awesome. And for everybody who wasn't here at the beginning, can you throw up the benschwartz.substack one more time just so they can see?
Yes, hold on. I will pull that up.
This is my passion. I don't make $1 on this. But I love it. I absolutely love it. I only write, I edit. I have an amazing artist, Alden Verrey, right now, who's doing the pencils for Continuum Universe. It is just my passion project. It's a bringing together of all the stories I've done in the past into one big epic. That's him right there. That's my main character, Relic. He's just beautiful. So please take a peek at benschwartz.substack.com. You can read the Continuum Universe for free. There's plenty of behind-the-scenes stuff. Trixie Dynamite, Rolly and Dylan's book. And there's a store with everything that's available now. And and of course, you went to my actual website. That's great. That's fine. That's the trade paperbacks that are available right now. And, on Substack, of course, if you can, please become a subscriber. It's only $5 a month, and it goes towards the pencils, the inks, the letters, the colors. These are all things that I have to pay for out of pocket. So anything you can do is appreciated.
Awesome.
All right, cool. Very nice. All right. So, hold on, where am I? Sorry about that. Sometimes I get confused. I only do this every weekend. You would think I would. All right, so Ben, this was awesome, man. Thank you for coming on. I mean, this was great. I mean, it was a pleasure meeting you. Please let everybody know where they can find you and your shop.
Yes, I'm in Sacramento, California. It's 1120 Fulton Avenue. You can, of course, look it up. It's Empire's Comics Vault, and we are at empirescomics.com. And we mainly use Instagram and Facebook, but we're on pretty much everything. So yeah, no, please. And thank you very much, you two, for having me on. This was a lot of fun. If you think of any follow-up questions, feel free to email them to me. I have some extra stuff to put in here. But that was a lot of fun. And it was fun to talk about. And there's some things I hadn't even really thought about until we started discussing them.
All right, cool. Listen, if you ever decide to do a Kickstarter or something like that, and you need to promote it and you want to come, I normally do a Sunday show. The Sunday show that's normally in this spot is normally about promoting Kickstarters. So
no, that's really appreciated. I had, I've gone back and forth. I did two successful Kickstarters a long time ago, but I had someone with me. And the idea of doing it by myself has just been kind of daunting. So if I do it, I may hit you two up just for a little bit of advice to awesome. Make sure that I can succeed.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's what we're here for, to share our successes and our failures. So.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, the failures are just as important.
Yeah. You never forget the lumps. You never forget the lumps.
You do not.
Yep. Yeah. Look, you do a comic book shop. Look, you'll be fine.
I mean, I guess that is kind of a leg up, isn't it?
Yeah. You know, I mean, yeah, definitely. At least we know you have the business aspect of it. So
there is that. Yes. Well, thank you, gentlemen. That was a lot of fun. I appreciate it.
All right, you're welcome. Thank you for being number one guest on the show.
All right, that's awesome. Yep. Looking forward to sharing this in our weekly email.
Cool.
So Marvin, where can we find you and your work, sir?
At theedgecomic.com and comicsburg.com. I mean, we're setting it up, and August 24th, launching the brand new Kickstarter for The Edge Volume 1 and 2. We're going to be showing over the next couple of weeks on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram all the cool stuff that we're going to have available. Not going to have coffee this time, but I think we're going to have something a little bit better.
All right, cool. I'm JD Calderon. I currently have a Kickstarter running right now. It's in the show notes. You can find Marvin's also in the show notes. You can find Ben's comic shop, his links in the show notes. So go check those out. And just remember, buy more indie comics, especially ours. Have a good night. Thank you so much.
Good night.